It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Nike.
Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to have you with us on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Phoenix Suns going up against the Chicago Bulls. And guys, for the Bulls, with a record of 3-7 over their last 10 games, they have been struggling. Wins hard to come by. We'll see if they can grab one tonight. Guys, Devin Booker, even in his rookie season, you saw something special with the way he can score the ball. And he just keeps on getting better. Can he be the top scoring two guard at some point in his career?
Top scoring, yes. But his goal should be the top overall two guard, two-way player. I think he has the ability to score, and we've seen that early in his career. Now his anticipation on the defensive end and his aggressiveness on the defensive end, if that increases, he has a chance to be the best two guard in 5 years.
And I agree with you, Kenny, and he's already a problem to defend without doubling. This kid can flat out play.
And with that, just about time for tip. We'll see you later.
Boo-boo. Good win. That's what I'm talking about.
The game hasn't started yet, man.
Go get him, Tiger. Play that one for me. I wasn't asleep.
Frank Mueller, yeah, Frank Mueller. Boy, I start on the bottom. Made my way to top. Boy, I'm gonna keep winning. No, I cannot stop. Remember, I had a little. Turned that to a lot. Always been one. Put that on my block. I'm still wonderful, dog. Now I want that drop. Yeah, now I do what I want. 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 Now I do what I want.
Devin Booker. Everybody keeps telling me study D books. What's up, baby?
Rook, what's up with you, man?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Good, man, good. You have any advice for me being in the league?
Man, first year, just take your time with everything, man. Just trust the process for yourself.
All right, for sure, man, for sure. Well, we gotta kick it.
Man, we can.
You know,
never you're my
us
town,
young
never
bucks,
your town.
we gotta stay together.
Let's do it, man.
All right, for sure. Have a
All
good
right, bro.
game, man.
You too, bro.
All right.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Phoenix, Arizona, the home of the Suns. A time-honored tradition, the NBA on 2K Sports, Sunday night hoops action. Delighted to have all of you with us here tonight. With Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge on the sideline. Take a look at the Bulls. They're hoping they can carry over some of that momentum from their undefeated homestand.
And, you know, for the Bulls, they haven't gotten anything to go their way here early on. What do they have to do to turn this thing around?
I don't think there's any one thing that's going to suddenly solve all these problems, but the number one thing is just to relax. They're trying so hard to right the ship, and you can see how much it's affecting their play. You can't be thinking and playing at the same time.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, when Devin Booker's father finished his playing career in Europe, Devin, who was then 15, moved from Michigan to Mississippi to train with him. Devin said it was a culture shock, but it was the best decision I ever made. I was a student of the game, but I never understood the grind. He instilled that, and it stuck with me. Kevin?
And that kind of toughness is crucial to have at a young age. Thanks, D.A. So, Brent, surprises here early in the season. A few teams outperforming expectations. What can they do to keep building on this momentum?
I think the coaching staff in these sort of instances, Kevin, maybe where you're out kicking your coverage a little bit, maybe they've got to remind their team about the small steps that we need to take. Yes, we're doing this. Don't forget about doing these things or what we're doing offensively. But make sure that the reality of what the season represents.
For the Phoenix Suns, they're coming off a good outing against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
And typically on the road, it's harder to get into a great rhythm offensively, but they did just that.
Felt like the louder the crowd got and the more hostile they were, the more together this team played. So it worked out nicely.
Hits it from three-point range.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
Bledsoe against Brown. Mirotic the screen. And it's Brown missing.
It is so tough to make those kind of shots with the defense draped all over you.
Bledsoe with it. Picked up by Brown. Jackson passes to Booker. Shot clock at 5. A 3-ball. And it's Chicago with the rebound. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And you know what? Up against a weak defense, they were allowed to do pretty much whatever they wanted.
Yeah, what I like, though, besides that, is that they just didn't settle for it because weak defenses, you could take bad shots. That's not what they did here tonight.
Sinks the three-pointer.
And Wells knows how to drop it in from deep. Whenever he has a clean look from downtown, he's going to get it up immediately.
Bulls trail by 12. Shot from 12. That one wide left. Booker with no one around connects from three-point range. Booker's got 11 points.
And he's really been working to get those looks, and it's starting to pay off here early on.
Here's Mirotic. No good on the three. Suns leading by 15. Warren with the ball. His last outing, he had 8 points. Shoots over Wells. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Now the feed to Mirotic. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
And giving up some height, he just finds a way to carve out a little separation.
This is sort of the joust of the NBA where the aggressive player, more often than not, wins out.
For Chicago, they have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
This season, in general, has not been kind to them at the free throw line. Only about 71%.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Jared Dudley's checked in for Jackson. Troy Daniels comes in for Devin Booker, and Knight subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Brown no good on the free throw. And last year, the Bulls, Greg, just didn't threaten anyone from outside.
I think a big problem has just been personnel. You know, some of the guys they brought in as shooters just really haven't panned out, and that lack of shooting from deep is why this offense can grow stagnant at times.
Dudley, no luck.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
And Mirotic kicks to Wells. Brown outside. Mirotic sets the screen for Brown. Rebounded by Dudley.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Well, it's like Thanksgiving out there, carving out space off the screen. Just couldn't complete the play.
Bulls trail by 15. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Wells in the corner. Back to Brown. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. They set the pick. Shot off the pick. And the shot no good, a bit short. Phoenix leading by 15. Knight wide open. Sinks the three-pointer. Knight's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And they are shooting the lights out from distance here early.
Chicago calls timeout.
One of the players last year who made a big leap in their play and especially consistency in their playing was one T.J. Warren. He picked it up on defense. That's the reason why he earned maybe a few extra minutes from Earl Watson. Ended up being a big contributor to the Suns.
Denzel Valentine, he's checked in for Wells. And a chance to now check out the scoring distribution between the front court and the back court players tonight for the Suns.
And we can see pretty even there between the guards and the bigs. That kind of balanced production has what's helped them craft this huge lead.
Bulls trail by 18. And with Warren, a guy who wasn't really expected to do so much with any team, but now Brent, he is viewed as a big part of the future.
Well, I think a lot of teams were curious as to whether or not T.J. Warren coming out of North Carolina State could be as an explosive a scorer as he was in college. And in Phoenix last year, up to 31 minutes a game, averaged about 14 per, and as a wing runner and a guy who can get into the mid-range and paint and create havoc, he had a pretty solid year.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Brown dishes to Mirotic. Holiday against Williams. Shoots off the screen, and that one hits back iron. Suns leading by 17. Here's Warren, and the layup falls. Warren's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Picked away. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic.
Well, Knight as a decisive guard can be much better than when he's out there thinking through plays.
Greg, you look at Brandon Knight and you figure that he would be perfect in the role of a sixth man off the bench.
You know, I think you hit it right on the head. I think he does fit that mold because of the ability to play both guard positions and also as a scorer facilitator. It's just never easy to learn the nuance of that role right off the bat. Adjusting to it is one reason I think he struggled so much last year.
Well, Brent, you look at the front court options for the Suns, and they have a lot of youth and a lot of length, certainly. Definitely, it's going to be a strong point for the team as they rebuild.
Well, it plays into the Suns' scheme to get out and try to run in transition, and not to have a lot of these young guys set up in the half court and deal with getting pushed and beat around a little bit. Once they settle in and establish their confidence playing with that style of play, maybe they can take the next step to be more consistent on the offensive end.
Dudley's shot is good.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
And already the lead is significant. Excellent play on both ends.
Back to Brown. Overnight. The offensive rebound. Pass to Valentine. Dudley against Mirotic. There's the pick. To stop the run, and finished off by Mirotic.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there, guys.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up the dunk.
Well, that's a play that only works by practicing over and over and having a great rhythm with your teammate. You could see the timing there.
Williams a screen, 5 to shoot. Daniels kicks to Knight. From outside, off the mark. And so it's Phoenix with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And let's hear from Tyson Chandler. He talked about what he brings to this team.
I do a lot that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. That's what I pride myself on. You know, some nights you're not going to get the ball, but you still can be effective on the floor. Whether that's rebounding, playing defense, hustling, trying to create extra shots for your team. Whatever it is necessary that I feel like help my team get a win.
Chandler has long been the kind of player all coaches want on their team. He's the definition, Greg, of an unselfish player who doesn't care about his ego or his stats.
And he knows that and prides himself on it. That also makes him the kind of player his teammates appreciate so much because they know nobody wins any rings without a guy like Tyson Chandler on the team.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And, guys, the Suns pretty much in control here.
I mean, through that first quarter, to me, it's all about their D.
Well, there's a lot of ways to build a lead. This one's built on stops.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Jared Dudley out there with Warren. Then it's Alex Len. Then there's Brandon Knight. And it's Daniels in at the shooting guard. And Alex Len, the 5th overall pick from the 2013 draft, is with all young centers, Brent. He took some time to adjust to the league.
Well, he will turn 25 years old during the season, so you wonder if Phoenix's style of play is something that ends up winning out rather than what Alex Len provides for you in terms of his size, his ability down low to block shots and maybe score some points. But he's a center that still has potential.
That free throw good from Len. Levine's checked in for the Bulls. And the Suns here with a different look. Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Len. Williams comes in for Jared Dudley. Booker, he's checked in for Troy Daniels. Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Knight. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Markkanen, he's checked in for Mirotic. Pondexter comes in for Valentine. Wells, he's checked in for Justin Holiday. And it's Brown in for Zach LaVine. It's stolen by Brown. And here comes Brown, leading the fast break. The shot by Wells, no good.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
Well, collectively, they've done it tonight here. A passionate performance from the squad.
They set the pick. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. Chandler's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
I think what I'd like to see from him in this quarter is getting going from the perimeter. Hit a 3 in the first, nothing in the second.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Yeah, 3rd turnover of the quarter, and he has got to value that basketball more.
So it's Chicago now. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And it's good, 2 points.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he's also crafty with how he approaches it. Right there, he uses just the right move to lay it in.
Here's Bledsoe. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Think about Eric Bledsoe in the early part of his career as an understudy to Chris Paul out of college, learning from both him and Chauncey Billups. That ain't bad. Didn't come into his own until he was finally traded and became a full-time starter.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. And with Bledsoe, you hear him talk about getting traded, and it was a big moment for him in his career.
Well, sometimes you need a change of scenery, Kevin, and then other times teams tell you, here comes a change of scenery. But Eric Bledsoe has shown under the tutelage of Chris Paul in the early part of his career in Los Angeles that he's ready to head up a franchise.
Wells' shot is good.
And Wells has such a quick release. He's ready to pull as soon as the ball hits his hand.
Here's Bledsoe, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And when I watch Eric Bledsoe, I really feel like he's at his best when he's kind of prodding a defense. So hard to keep away from the rim. When he attacks, it just opens everything else up in his offensive game.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And, Greg, as you said, the aggressiveness Bledsoe has going to the rim is a key for him to getting those open shots then on the perimeter.
And the team is at their best when he is in attack mode.
That just happened.
And Wells has a lot of confidence in his dunking ability. Always fun to watch him take off and go towards the rim.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. Now the Bulls with it. Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game. In their next game, it'll be played in Los Angeles. That'll be the second on the road in the midst of this long 4-game road stand.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
Bulls shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
One shot, mind the lanes.
Brown, no good on the free throw.
And for so long, the Bulls really were synonymous with the best defensive teams in the league. But as a team, they've started to slip the last few years. It's something that has been lost while this team kind of retools for the future.
And 1:01 left in the first half. And stolen by Booker. "14 feet away." And so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Detroit. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, Chicago, right now, quite a ways down below.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, nobody was calling on them to kind of set the world on fire. But even those modest expectations have yet to be realized.
Yep, any glimmers of hope that may have been there early for them have all just disappeared at this point. It's looking more and more like a season that will not end well for this team.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Brown with it, now guarded by Bledsoe. Dishes to Markkanen. There's a good screen. Here's Wells. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Wells has got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Bulls. Chandler a screen. Booker in the corner. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Bledsoe's got 3 assists tonight.
Booker a threat from downtown when he's squared up. He fires with confidence.
It's been all about Eric Bledsoe for the Phoenix Suns. He totaled 14 points in the quarter. He's given them all the offense they need right now. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Tyson. How have you controlled the tempo in the game in the first half?
I think the way we came out defensively, we locked into their sets. We're taking them out of what they want to accomplish. Because of that, we're able to make some shots on the other end.
Tyson, thanks. We'll see you in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. A big group substitution here for Phoenix. Lenz checked in for Chandler. Allen Williams comes in for Chris. Jared Dudley's checked in for Jackson. And it's Brandon Knight in for Eric Bledsoe. So for Chicago right now, Valentine out there with Mirotic. Then there's Brown. And it's Holiday in at the 2-guard spot. Mirotic, a screen on Booker. The shot by Holiday, no good.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
To the middle, it's deflected. Knight passes to Dudley. Shot clock at 6. Booker with it. Now guarded by Valentine. Again, the miss by Booker.
Oh, you just relish those kind of opportunities, and the defense got lucky, but they need to guard that area of the floor a little bit better.
Over to the left wing. They grab their own miss. Second shot opportunity. Portis can't get it to go.
And that's just good offense. Surprised he blew that one, and the defense is too.
There's a screen by Williams. And here's Booker from the arc. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. Knight's got 3 assists tonight.
Well, if he's hitting shots from there, he becomes so much more dangerous.
And here's Holiday. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Feeds it to Mirotic. And again, no good by Chicago. Phoenix has gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. A nice shot by Booker.
Booker effective that time, close to the basket, taking his time to cash in.
And Holiday has it in the corner. Back to Brown. Hey, Brent, you and I were talking about the toughest players in the league just a minute ago. It's easy to go right to physical attributes, but let's shift it. And who are some of the toughest guys mentally in the game now?
Well, those guys who are thinking out there on the floor, not only about what they have to do, Kevin, but getting their guys lined up and into right spots. I think that Marc Gasol does an incredible job of that in Memphis, especially as the center, knowing all the coverages, backing up the line of defense on pick and rolls, rebounding, outletting, scoring. That's a lot of work for a big guy. And the elite guys that we could talk about, Kev, Chris Paul and LeBron James. I mean, how good are those guys when it comes down to making sure that things are communicated between the coach and that all 5 guys know their responsibilities on the floor?
Hey, but if it can come from the back end, like you said with Gasol, what about a guy like DeAndre Jordan, who I think has really tried to improve that part of his game?
I think there's a lot more appreciation for how much DeAndre Jordan does, especially the way that he contributed to the USA team.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
First one falls for him.
And when you see T.J. Warren on the court, I just love his activity. I mean, he's always cutting and moving without the basketball. Very adept at finding those openings on the floor.
Wells' shot is good.
And he's been hitting from out there. Defensively, you're going to have to change some things up.
The classic catch-22 guy right here. If you key in on him, you're going to open up other opportunities for his teammates to have good looks.
Mirotic, a screen on Booker. Wells wide open. And the Bulls, another 3. Dan Warren last season had his year interrupted by injury, cooled off after the fast start, but Greg, he will always play with that activity.
Yeah, and he's so good at switching directions on a defender. Seemingly simple moves help him create great space both with and without the ball.
Back to Knight, shoots over Brown. A shot by Knight, no good. And Chicago shooting just 33% in the second half so far. They need to look at more high-quality shots.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
For Phoenix, they've gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. Dudley with a screen for Booker. Dudley with a screen on Holiday. Shot from free throw range, and it comes off the front of the rim.
Just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Wells' shot is good.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Knight kicks to Dudley. Now the dish to Warren. Booker, right side. Pass to Williams. Fires from 14. It's rebounded by Portis. Portis has got his 4th rebound in this one. 1:46 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Right wing. Here's Wells. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Wells has got 27 points.
You know, he has single-handedly helped them carve into this lead thanks to his scoring in the quarter.
Now, here's Warren. Defense is right there. Booker in the corner. Hits the three-point bomb. Booker's got 11 points in the quarter.
Well, the O looks unstoppable tonight, especially because of that guy. He's just torching them.
They set the pick. And 1:01 left in the 3rd. Brown kicks to Wells. Up top, Brown. He's guarded by Knight. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And there's the foul against Phoenix. Now, the Suns' issue last season was their defensive focus, Brent. Bottom 5 in the league in defense and had a lot of trouble not committing silly fouls on defense.
That's where youth plays a huge part, Kevin. Inexperience, not understanding the nuances of the NBA defensive game. And a lot of times what you'll see, Kevin, is young guys getting caught up in the idea that, hey, I stopped my man, I did a good job defensively, and that's not really what team defense is all about, certainly at the NBA level.
Nailed from three-point land. Holiday's got 5 now.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Pass to Booker. Puts up a 3. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Bulls ball. .23 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Now here's Wells. 27 points for him. To the middle. Got a piece of it. And that one goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Warren.
Just active defensively here, being extremely disruptive.
Like the aggressiveness and a great effort just to get a hand on it.
Markkanen dishes to Brown. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And at the end of the 3rd quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Phoenix ahead, running away with it. 2K Sports, back to Phoenix after this. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter, the final quarter. And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. Then for the Bulls, Mirotic is checked in for Portis. Valentine comes in for Wells. And it's Brown in for Cameron Payne.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Suns.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Devin Booker.
He painted a great picture on the offensive end with the ball movement tonight. Really racked up some assists and had some pretty sweet passes to go along with it.
Booker and Warren on the perimeter. Allen Williams out there with Jared Dudley. And it's Knight in at the 1. That's who's out there for Phoenix. Brown the pass to Mirotic. Stolen by Dudley. And they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, they got to be happy with the outcome.
Knight against Brown. Outside Knight. so it's Phoenix easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here.
DJ, come on, man. Bring it in. Let me look in your eyes. Get close. Not too close. A little bit. Yeah. See, these mood swings you're having? That's the result of dehydration. You know you're thirsty, you gotta drink more water. You mix that with your weakened immune system, along with the loss, all these games on the road are having an effect on you.
So is it supposed to make me feel better?
No, son. That's sleep's job. Old Boo Boo's just here to tell you the truth. Shake it off and roll on, boy.